here. How are you today? Here in Lubbock, it is 13 degrees and snowing. Can you tell I'm not used to it? Oh my goodness, I hope that you're staying warm. I'm so excited to still be on this journey with you. So today we are, we've passed salvation. Now we're in the what now stage. And Jessica beautifully shared how to hate the sin in our lives, pulling away from God. To hate it. So let's turn away from it. But now, which direction do we go, right? Because you can still go off in the wrong direction if you don't know where to head toward. Now that we've turned away from that, so I tell my kids a lot. You tend to, things tend to go wrong if you're not where you're supposed to be. So you got to know where to go toward, right? So I can turn, but now where do I go? Let's go toward God. And one of the very first things, okay, the very first fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, right? Love. He puts a huge, huge emphasis on not just loving in word, but also in deed. Okay, we can say, oh, I love Jesus all day long. And I love Jesus. But our actions speak a whole lot louder than words. Okay, so I'm going to go in opposite direction if you have the piece of paper. Let's start with 1 John 3:14. We know that we have passed from death to life because we love our brothers and sisters. The one who does not love remains in death. Ouch! Ouch! Right? And I know that some of you are like, love my siblings? Okay. We all love our siblings, but the day-to-day can be a little elusive. Guys, I get it. I have a brother who's 5.5 years older than me. When we were young, he used to sit on my face and fart. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but it was not pleasant. Okay, I love my brother. The day-to-day can get a little tricky, can it? All right, I also need you to realize I'm not just talking blood siblings here, right? When we come into the family of God, we are all brothers and sisters in the Messiah. So it is much bigger than that. Proof, go to the end of Matthew 12, where Yeshua himself is saying, who is my mother, brother, sisters? But those who do the will of the Father. That's our family, okay? So it is so much bigger, but it also includes our blood family too. The ones we're around all the time that we don't necessarily want to be nice to. I mean, I love them, but like the acting out is pretty elusive, but it's so important. So give yourself grace. God does. But as we are turning away from some things, let's start walking in that path, okay? Let's go to John 13:35, excuse me. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. He was just talking, and this is Yeshua himself saying, you need to remain in me, okay, as I'm in my Father. And this is how they'll know, all right? Not by, I'm so intent and I'm in the Word and I am studying and me and my Messiah. It's all about me and my Messiah, right? And people will just see it and know that I am his disciple. That's not what he said. He said people will know you're my disciple by how you treat each other, because that's much harder, right? We have to get outside of ourselves and serve people that we don't always want to. Okay, we can say we love them, but if they're moving and have a trailer full of boxes and you're like, I'll just stay home, do they feel loved? No. Okay, it's important, especially go back to the 1 John that we were just in 3 and like 11 through the end of the chapter. Whew, all about how to really act out that love, okay, and how important it is to do it in not just word, but in action. Super, super important. 1 Thessalonians 4:9. About brotherly love, you don't need me to write you because you yourselves are taught by God to love one another. Well, so even Paul is going, I can't say anything better than God's already said. All right. So what did he say? He said things through Yeshua himself because he's a part of him. And then his very words, he spoke mouth to Moses. So back in the scriptures, everything Moses wrote were God's words, okay, not his own. So those were God's instructions. And you're like, oh, but that's, that was back then and blah, blah, blah. But if you look at all of the spirit behind all of those instructions, it's the day-to-day, how to live things out. Okay, because I can say, to my children, I can say love each other, but then there's still every single day when they get into situations and they don't know how to discern right from wrong. Well, they don't know how to discern. Charles Spurgeon says it best. He says discernment is not just telling right from wrong. It's telling right from almost right. Okay, so you get into situations, and God knew that as his children, we were going to do the same. We want to love each other. We love each other. We really do. But then we get into situations where we're like, I'm not happy with you and I don't know how to live this out. So we have to start filtering through God's word, get into God's word, see what he says about it. And then also in the day to day, I encourage you, stop. Don't react. Okay? Stop. Pray. And then respond. Lord, I have no idea how to love this person I'm so annoyed with right now. Help me. And then respond. Okay? He will. He is faithful. He is faithful to help you do what he says you need to be doing. It's not going to leave you high and dry, I promise. So that's my encouragement for today. If anything else, if you have any questions, ask us. We're here because you've always got friends at Messiah, Texas.